Yes, it's February 24th. Hey, 9:41 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2.
Was it Valentine's?
No. So what do you think, Mr. White?
I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all...
The victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time.
I was confused there. I was like, what? I'm not Lana.
My name's not Lana.
Oh, you had to talk this part? Oh my goodness.
Do you remember me, the person whose life you're trying to save? And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes.
Lana! I remember now.
That's right. Good morning, Mr. Wright.
And
Not
little
good morning
sister?
to you, sister. No.
Oh, okay.
I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed.
You mean you're in jail?
That's a
You
one
could
way
say
to put it.
I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning.
Ah!
Never
How do I
mind.
go back? How do I go back?
Reload the save.
I technically could. Let's do that. I don't know what happened.
Wow, deja vu.
Lana's not supposed to be here.
There we go. Okay, there we go. So what do you think they're talking about? What?
Didn't you ask me that?
Deja vu.
Lana, what are you doing here?
I was indisposed.
Don't you mean in jail?
That's a good
We
joke.
just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though.
Heyo.
Would you mind holding me for questioning?
So, how'd it go?
It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain.
P bargain.
No.
A P bargain? What do you mean by that?
We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma.
But, Lana, don't tell me you...
Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are.
Miss Sky, we found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall.
What kind of trace evidence?
I know, I can't imagine why he would have been in the evidence room. That's ridiculous.
It's very suspicious.
He has nothing to do with crime investigation.
Mm-mm.
Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact.
Oh,
That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you?
He can't wear a t-shirt. In order to defend my sister, you're going to have to accuse Mr. Marshall?
We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky?
You just said you had cards up your sleeve, though.
I'm not talking to you, sister.
Oh.
Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright.
February 24th, 10 a.m., District Court, number 2. 9.
They're so punctual.
Right? I like that.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is...
I'm afraid you'll have to clarify.
It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time.
But That's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared.
Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. That guy over there.
Wow. This is one messed up trial.
It's just a little reminder. It's been a second, you know?
It's true.
One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today, I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself.
Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things. Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself, like you.
My job is to present very partial evidence. That's supposed to be an admirable trait?
Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand of the day. Oh boy.
For its first witness, the prosecution calls...
Your mom.
Ha ha! No, the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department.
The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer?
I haven't left in days.
Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go.
I'm speeding through it.
Oh no!
Drink lots of water.
Oh, I should have prepared.
Will the witness please kill the voice actor's voice?
I'll do my best, sir!
Very good. State your name and occupation.
Yes, sir! I'm Officer Mike Meekins, sir! My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir!
So you're telling us you're a professional killer?
Sir, it was me, sir! I'm the one who did it! I'll never kill anyone again, sir! You gotta believe me, sir! Oh gosh. Sir, I would like you to be part of the younger generation, sir! A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend! I'm a zoomer!
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir.
Officer Meekins.
Yes, sir!
Imagine doing this while you were sick. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order.
Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm.
Hey, let's talk about my partner.
Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake.
So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you?
Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir.
I see, then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness.
Yes, sir! He knocked me upside the head, sir!
Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Please don't let him talk too much, though.
I need to get this guy talking as much as possible so we can figure out what happened.
Guys!
What I need here is more info to work with. More dialogue from this guy.
Crime report, please!
Yay!
Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day!
Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not?
Gad. Yes, sir! I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir!
Tell me more.
No!
Yikes, now there's a scary thought.
Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed.
I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir!
The Blue Badger?
Yes, sir! The lovely police mascot created by the chief of detectives, sir! Ah!
Kill me.
I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process! That was my sole mission for the day, sir!
I see. Sounds like a very, important mission.
After the awards ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room.
Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room.
Tell us, what did you see when you got there?
I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room.
In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card. Excuse me. You need an ID card, am I correct?
Precisely, sir! I have one right here around my neck! Or is that a noose?
That's a tie. So then, your ID numbers should be listed on here, right?
There it is! I found it! This is the one right here!
Could you please read us the number?
Yes, sir! It's 4989596! That's my number, sir!
I see. Huh? But the number 4989... How did he do that so fast? 596. Is shown as being used twice.
Please explain, witness.
It's no real mystery, sir! The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room, and the second time is when I went to get him after everything settled down!
I see, so it was during the second time when...
Yes, sir! That's when I spotted the man on the security screen! Look at this! Nice. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir! I was suddenly attacked!
So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you?
It was a knife, sir! A knife!
Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then?
Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was!
You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into.
Just my ears. That's when I reacted, sir!
I shouted in his ears!
He started bleeding from the eardrums! I swung my arms like an octopus struggling to detain him! That's how I got this gash on my hand! Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar! I fought for my life, then I did it!
What exactly do you mean when you say you did it?
I know I don't look like the type, but I'm really into Kung Fu films, sir! The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him!
You took his knife.
I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver! I made sure to close my eyes like a man!
See. You must have been desperate.
The next thing I know, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood! And then, And then the next thing I know,
Yes.
he punched me right in my face, sir! After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake.
About what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious!
Oh, right.
According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
He hit me right in the head, too! I woke up crying tears of pain!
That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is.
When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir!
Your mission?
Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir! I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand!
Well, we can all rest easy now.
I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened.
Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear.
My throat?
Yes. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim?
He's got a point.
Yes, Officer Meekins.
With regard to that, sir, take a look at this! It was sent to my jail cell! Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir!
The chief?
The chief
Delivered it?
delivered it.
What is that, a VHS? Oh, I know what those are.
Yes, sir! That's absolutely right, sir! A videotape, sir! It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room! I don't!
What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape. I was told it had been mistakenly erased.
That's quite a mistake.
I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at.
Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever.
Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim.
Oh, please stop using the word murder, sir. It scares me. Oh.
Murder, murder, murder.
No, stop!
Video of a real murder.
Stop it, Patrick.
What
You're
are we
scaring
getting
him.
ourselves into? Ah!
This is FNAF. It's FNAF now.
Five Nights at Badgies. Wow, look at that 3D cel-shaded model.
I'm gonna murder you.
Oh.
That's not something you can accomplish with the power of only a GBA. That needs a trademark Nintendo DS hashtag Nintendo.
This really is just a terrible security camera.
Yes.
It's not even, it's like below eye level and it has to rotate left and right.
You could honestly solve this by having two cameras.
Yep. Just stationary and just always, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Or even
police-
one camera, but like higher up in a corner.
Yeah, right? It's L-shaped. Put it in that one corner. Hi.
Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How do kids see the tasted cinnamon swirl bites?
I thought we were all
Yeah.
thinking about how sucky that camera was.
I was thinking that, actually. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us?
What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood?
Santa, please.
What the hell?
Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir! It's the Blue Badger, sir!
Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly?
Oh, finally, we got the videotapes.
Yes, well, anyway, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter, someone in the evidence room and some sort of, okay.
Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice.
No,
Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins?
no, please don't.
Give me an answer.
Yes, sir! As you wish, sir!
Excellent.
Okay. Mystery man. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
What's this about a footprint?
Yeah, our lockers are really screwed up.
If you get a higher locker, it really sucks.
Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a footprint activated lock. It sucks. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to.
Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination.
I don't think he's sober enough to be a good witness. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead. But everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start.
That's how you were born, with a contradiction.
Yeah.
Oh boy!
Dad contradicted your mom.
Hey-o. His face can be clearly seen in the video.
Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife?
Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter.
The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not?
More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you?
Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a closer look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see.
Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer.
Too real for me, IRL or something. Still, I'm sure it was him. I bet my badge on it, sir.
Would you now?
No, I'm just kidding. I can't look at your face. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir.
But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face.
Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label wait, what? Has seen or not seen it?
Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it.
Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label you stares, it's disturbing, or...
Meekins.
Ah! Oh, no!
Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify.
Yes, sir!
You claim the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him.
Okay. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's footprint to do.
About these lockers, is there no other way to open them?
No, sir! I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past! They only respond to registered footprints, sir!
Wonder what kind of methods he's tried.
I need your foot!
If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered footprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to.
Exactly my point, sir! And this too! The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir!
How do you know that information?
I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir!
People in the know?
The workers in the department cafeteria, sir, they keep me informed. No one else will. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir.
For the record, the opened locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source.
The head lunch lady?
Yes. More
Nice.
reliable than you.
So the victim opened the locker with his own footprint.
So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face.
Sir, if I may say something, sir.
Please do. After all, you are the one being examined.
I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock, and it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir.
Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie.
That is, footage. Unless the defense can find a problem with it.
Mr.
That
Wright,
is a terrible pun.
Objection. Get him out of this court for such terrible puns.
let's check the court record, please.
Are you okay?
I'm losing it.
Is there a problem with the security video?
Let's find out.
I mean, there's a very obvious problem with it, but I don't think that's what he's asking.
I see something. Gonna murder you.
There he goes.
Backstaboo. Ah!
Oof.
I'm dead.
Yay, he killed him.
Nice.
Yay.
Oh, interesting. I saw that too. Well.
I didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
got it.
probably not a problem. I think you're being silly.
But. Okay.
Yeah. No problem.
Oh.
The tape was provided by the police department, so there's no problem with it.
I admire your trust in the police department, Mr. Wright.
Well, if you ask me, all cops are. I mean, I think there's a problem with what's shown on the tape.
Hey-o.
Rather than with the actual tape itself.
This all sounds true enough. But the victim's body was found at the prosecutor's office. There has to be a mistake somewhere.
The real thing's so much more intense than in the movies. Here you can use the player to watch it as much as you'd like, using the stylus on your Nintendo DS.
What? Oh, that's really handy, thanks. The security video. Using my stylus on my Nintendo DS registered trademark.
Ooh.
Maybe I should take another look at the footage. And say that there's a problem with it.
You think?
Don't listen to Edgeworth, he's trying to lead you astray.
Yes, trust the police department.
Trust them, you fool.
You sorry fool, you could never be my little PogChamp.
But, Your Honor, I thought I was your little PogChamp.
Objection.
Okay. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there's one thing in particular that seems rather strange.
Strange?
This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman.
What? This video contains such a contradiction? Stop it!
Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal.
I do.
Oh, wow, alright then. That was easy.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth?
I propose we have the defense
Well, uh-oh.
point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video.
Whew, okay.
I'm good at pointing.
I thought he was going to involve me in his proposal.
I need a best man, and you're the only one I know.
He would want me to point it out.
Very well, proposal accepted. Aw, let us further inspect this piece of evidence.
Happiest day of my
Mary.
life.
I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of.
This was kind of a weird case. I can see why it wasn't in the original.
Oh.
This is the first time I've ever had to do that on my hashtag Nintendo DS.
You could do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing.
Please don't play it too many times! I can't stand watching this video!
How did this guy ever become a police officer?
Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man was hot?
Wee, wee. Whoopee. It's like a spooky hand.
Music video.
It's murdering time.
Ding, 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 ding.
He's down for the count!
I need punch
Look
out
at that
music
dab.
with that.
Look at his stone cold face.
Oh, you can just yes, you can go frame by frame.
Ah!
KO.
Mm, 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 mm. Awkward.
Say it right there. That's cringe.
That's going in the cringe comp. It's cringe, I say.
Did you see it?
Nope.
Oh. Can we like rewind all the way? No, just-
Unless it is, you know, the hand.
The light was already on that locker.
That's another point.
Yeah.
And there was another thing I might have noticed, but yeah.
Right, because there's like the lights on. There's a little thing that falls out. That am I crazy? Is that a hand? that falls
Oh.
out?
Did you see it?
No.
I think I
guess
saw
not.
you mouse over it for a second. Yeah, now I see it. Okay.
I said, look at that. Huh? Huh? Huh?
Oh.
Say it's not here in the beginning.
Right, that was the thing, because we found that, like,
Actually
when we
found-
investigated the place,
And we're just trying to prove it's
but it
not
wasn't
Detective
always
Goodman.
there.
Yeah, I actually thought like one of the lights went on the left lockers, but there was a different flash of light I was seeing, I guess.
Yeah. I'ma say it's this thing.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's this. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this!
Uh-oh.
Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that and generalized. What could it mean? Okay.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright. But you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise.
The point.
See? Point.
Point. We could be in Cuphead, you and I.
Nice.
What you are looking for is one thing, and one thing only.
Love?
Fringe.
Oh.
Something that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman.
Oh, yeah.
Whew. I almost walked right into the defense's trap.
I'll place him under arrest, sir!
Rats. I need to slow down and tackle these things one piece at a time. Now, what do I do? Play the Bibio
Yeah,
again. Very well, let's try this again.
Just remember one thing, Mr. Wright. Fringe. Every time you point your finger, someone gets hurt.
Oh, that's so relevant.
Pointing at you.
Says the one pointing his finger at us.
Points again.
Stop it!
I don't feel very hurt.
I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of.
I have to point out a problem in the video. Like, this has never happened. This is the first time I've ever had to do that.
Do you have
Wink.
amnesia, Mr. Wright? You could do it again. Please. Just do it.
I feel like I keep having these weird bouts of deja vu today.
I keep having these weird thoughts lately.
Like, is any of this real or not? Thing that's strange about this video has got to be this new thing,
Oh.
Officer Meekins.
Sir! Do you mean me, sir?
No, the other Officer Meekins.
Okay, I'll shut up!
As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this.
Ah.
When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, The light turns on, and the lock is released.
According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir.
If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture.
And this music. Okay, here we go.
Don't look at his face.
He's got a handprint on his face, just like Freddy Fazbear. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker. Let's rewind to a little earlier. Because we really want to make sure all the kids in the audience get it.
I don't get what's on my DS, Mom. I wanted Pokemon.
Why can't I be the detective man? And I wanna stab a boy.
He played through the entire game and is only just now deciding he'd rather have Pokemon. Here, notice the light?
What's this? It's already lit. Nice.
And so am I. Precisely my point, Your Honor. That thing is lit AF.
Nice.
The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle.
He keeps trying to kill himself.
See how leaned over he was in that crowd shot?
Order, order. What's the meaning of this?
It's very simple, Your Honor.
Simple.
The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime.
But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered. And the locker is automatically locked, points at you.
Oh, that's so offensive.
Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this.
That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction.
Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, keep your mouth shut.
Fine.
But do you have an explanation?
Me, Your Honor? But I thought I was supposed to keep my mouth shut.
All right, smart aleck. Why wasn't the locker locked?
Me, Your Honor?
Are you sure I can answer?
Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator?
Huh? Oh, maybe something like jammed the system's sensor?
Something jammed the sensor? Say.
That gives me an idea.
Delightfully devilish, Phoenix. There's something else that seems out of place in this video.
Yeah, I thought so too. Right. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage or something.
Aurora Borealis?
I see. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. Come on, everybody. The locker wasn't locked, Mr. Wright. Please point out the cause of this.
It was him, it was the man.
Madan. It could almost fit this pointer finger.
Oh.
Oh, weird.
Only the DS can handle this.
Ew.
Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier.
Finally. Oh. Ba-da-da-da-da,
Wait.
na, 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 da, da.
Please mute the video. I'm sick of this song.
Play it loud on the speaker system.
Let it boom.
What's this? Something's white fell out of the locker.
But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when okay.
We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with.
What do you mean?
The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door?
Inserted?
Da, 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 da. I hope getting it on the DS was worth it.
This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor.
Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me to death.
But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door.
Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator.
Yes, an insulator. That's what I know what that means. But at the crime scene,
There might just have been something that fits the description.
Like a glove?
But sir, an insulator, do you mean?
I think I finally got this figured out.
very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was the insulator that was stuck in the locker door?
It was my attorney's badge.
That's where I left it. Oh, yeah.
Alright.
Do we even have it? Oh, we do.
Twist the shoe.
I think it was luminol, sir.
Quick, spray some luminol. see if what's his face, Officer Meekins disappears.
I'm made of blood. Ah!
He's blue now. I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove.
But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker.
It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this.
Yeah, man. It was like totally in there.
It's lit, bro. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins?
I'm gonna hang him.
Sir! Ah, it appears so, sir!
You're doing it now.
I'm killing myself now! Get it over with!
Seppuku!
Order, order, order. Stop killing yourself. So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman?
Do not be misled, Your Honor.
But what else am I supposed to do, Mr. Edgeworth?
A good question, Mr. Honor. The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility, and nothing more.
I believe it's Mrs. Edgeworth now.
Mr. Honor.
Everything you just said was wrong.
Unlike you, Wright.
Nice.
I said Miller.
The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this.
Thank God!
What?
Blame yourself or God. Officer Macon
No, I thought it was someone else!
points at you. Please testify about this.
No. Sir? Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir.
Points at the judge.
Yes, honey.
Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir.
Is this a joke?
Very well, begin your testimony.
Oh boy. Mystery Man 2?
There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, he must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the point of the crime, the detective had used his ID card.
An ID card record. I see.
I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor.
Wow.
The ID used at 514 is that of the victim.
Just before the crime, hmm? Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room?
This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases.
Special cases?
Like you.
Points out. Extremely violent cases involving police staff.
Oh, they get their own room.
Like you.
Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Whoa!
Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference.
No
I'm literally always scared or surprised.
one can tell.
There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon.
Right, I see. Now let's move to the cross-examination. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
There's one other thing that proved the man was Detective Goodman, sir.
So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you?
Yes, sir. Solid as a stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir.
Couldn't he just use his right hand for that?
Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second.
To enter the evidence room, he must use their ID card.
Is that card hanging from your neck one of those ID cards?
No, it's a noose, sir.
Oh.
This card right next to my cuffs, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it.
But what if someone were to steal it from you? Keeping it out in the open like that.
Maybe I should wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time is my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card gets stuck.
Maybe I should just leave this one alone.
At any rate, each police officer only has one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this.
Please proceed with your testimony.
When an ID card is used, there's a record of it.
Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to.
Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman.
What's the matter?
According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here.
So it is, wifey.
Have you been seeing other judges?
Actually, just you. It's kind of weird.
It's true. Oh boy, here he goes again. What a loser.
Maybe he's behind the judge.
Mommy!
Is that man in blue the murderer?
Yes, but don't point.
Yes, I agree with the audience, it would seem. The inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today.
I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences, Kojima.
Huh?
For now, let us continue with the cross-examination.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. It must be so difficult for him.
At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card!
Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card...
ID card.
Yeah. He pulled a knife on you.
Yes, sir! He didn't show me any ID cards, sir!
Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife.
He must not be a good artist, sir! Maybe he just panicked!
Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out.
Mr. Edgeworth, that's rude. What do you think you're doing?
Did you say Mr. Rightward?
I don't know what I said.
I'm confused.
You think? What?
Problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this.
You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show him what we got.
What do we have, Pluto?
Bow!
No, it's blue.
Oh.
Wow.
Let's see. We got a security camera with the weird thing on the tag. Well, let's see. Let's see. To enter the evidence room, one must use our ID card. Okay, when an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. Is there something we could do there?
Maybe.
I'm John Goodman.
Let's take a look at this here.
Take a look at this, baby.
Nice.
I have the spoiler-free walkthrough.
Oh, see, just give me a sec.
It may be necessary.
Oh, wait, didn't he lose it? Maybe.
Yeah, because it wound up in the other place where we found it.
So he lost his ID card. Okay, we can use that.
Right. What does it say on the actual like description of the ID card itself? I mean the lost item thing is probably what it is, but
An investigated card found at prosecutor's office crime scene.
okay. But that the little like ticket thing is for like, yeah, the lost item report.
Yeah. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his ID card. To enter the evidence screen, one must use their ID card. There's one other. No, that's like the only one I think I can press on.
Let's try it.
Oh, you're such a smarty.
Wait one moment, Officer Meekins.
I'm not good at waiting, sir. I'm a zoomer.
I noticed. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene.
That makes sense.
When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card.
A lost item report is only half completed.
But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report.
Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right?
I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card.
Who brings a kid to a murder trial?
Mommy, I want to be there someday.
Order! So now, what does this all mean?
Can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card.
Order! Does the prosecution have a response? Sweetie?
Honey. I have only one thing to say to the defense.
No, you.
No, you.
Edgeworth used to look at me that way.
Bravo, Mr. Wright.
Bravo?
Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright?
Yes. What's he up to?
That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder.
Yeah, it was pretty cringe. That is... Well, I guess that's right.
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Points at. Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. Points at.
This isn't gonna end well.
Points at myself. Well. It seems you finally realized.
I think you're doing the pointing thing more than I am.
Points at. Exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove.
Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth.
Continues pointing. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place, in general, at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime.
So...
So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, points at the murderer being Miss Lana Sky, the defendant.
That girl over there.
Points at her. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness. Observe the moment the defendant used a murder weapon.
Ah!
He sucks.
Mommy, I want to point at him.
You got games on your phone?
It's rude to point, sweet.
Yeah.
I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning.
The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman.
Just so, honey.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana...
What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess?
Object.
Object. I'll throw this object at Edgeworth.
Nice.
One moment, Your Honor.
What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven.
Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap.
What are you talking about?
This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Wow. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot.
Parking lot. Ghost print.
Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room.
Doesn't point at.
Oh, looks
The
good than
defense
pointing now.
points. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter.
Mr. Edgeworth, honey.
Yes, madame.
If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, wifey.
That's it, you sleep on the couch.
Oh! The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. Slyly points at the judge. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident.
This just might be my chance.
Marry me, Edgeworth.
What?
It's time to open this up to a polyamorous relationship. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand.
Mr. Wright, do you mean...
Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness.
Pacific.
Oh, whom do you have in mind?
Someone we have a reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room.
The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply.
Voldemort.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify, what is his or her name?
Who's good, man? Take a pick.
Miles Edgeworth.
I do want to see that because he's dead. Oh.
Mr. Wright, I'm not even going to bother asking you why. I've never seen a more obvious stall tactic in my entire career.
Mr. Wright, don't you remember what you said this morning? You know, about your twum code?
That's right, those bloody fingerprints we found in the evidence room. Now's my chance to bring him in to testify. Detective Goodman.
Mr. Wright, please.
Who's it gonna be?
It's Howdy Dowdy Cowboy Crunchies.
I'm just curious if it's unique or if it's always the same.
I am pretty sure
okay.
it's the same.
No.
Be neat if they had different dialogue though.
Yeah.
But they already have so much dialogue.
We need more. It's the DS, baby.
Officer Jake Marshall.
Why him?
Can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say.
The prosecution agrees to the defense's request.
Oh,
Really, that quickly?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the ouch with the judge right now. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. Points at we shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare.
Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time if it doesn't bother him?
We will, Your Honor.
I'm fine. Court is now in recess.
Only the kid is excited about that.
recess.
I love recess!
Hey, it's 11:32. You spent an hour and a half in there. That's about right.
Only an hour and a half?
Not impressed. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What do you mean?
You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out.
I haven't figured anything out.
Lana, you're the one who knows everything.
Emma.
You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you.
I don't recall ever asking for his protection.
How can you be so cold?
It's been very warm there.
Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
You know the answers to that.
Smack!
Oh.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
Ah, don't snap my neck.
Snaps your neck.
Awkward.
Oh, I guess I am. I'll come back later.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around while on duty. And on top of it, top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people in a funeral.
Sorry, detective. I caused that funeral.
You better be, pal. Wait a second. Hey! Hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky!
That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked?
Here's the head of Officer Meekins.
Wonderful.
You mean this, right?
My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request.
My name?
Sullied, ruined.
Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy.
The SL9 incident?
But Lana, that's...
I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them.
I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case.
Miss Sky? Was a witness?
Wow, she for Joe Darky killing solved 2 years ago.
Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murderers.
But I like cereal.
Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me.
Emma, but why?
'Cause it's fun.
Why is your name in here?
What? My name's in there? I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that...
Yes, I used your name too.
Dang it.
The man.
I'm being doxxed.
That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Nonary Games.
Whoa! Tie-in.
The Joe Dark killings.
The Joe Dark. No, no, Lana. It's over with. No!
Emma, wait! She ran away.
You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here too.
Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma.
Everyone's here.
Oh my gosh, my cat's crawling in front of the screen. Little kitty.
Everyone is here.
Yeah, everyone is here now. Everyone involved in this case is connected with those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence.
Knowing you, you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck.
Better take a good look at this file.
To be contended.
Hot dog! See, that wasn't too bad, right? Ah,
I'm dying.
Let's see, what does it say? We're day 3. Trial ladder. Oh boy. It's just getting started. We're halfway through it.
And then after this, there's another recess, and then it's trial ladderer.
Oh no. Then ladderist.
It keeps going.
And then Zeta ladder.
No.
Oh no.